and welcome to today's live. We are here to share about a very juicy topic, and the one question everyone has: why is it that I'm sending thousands of messages to my twin flame, and he or she do not reply? They leave you with a double blue tick hanging there and nothing. How can we change this? So we are today talking and discussing about this topic with Master Certified Ascension Coach VC and Certified Ascension Coaches Christine and Danny. We are Paco and Deborah, also Certified Ascension Coaches. And if you are watching this from YouTube, we invite you to like and subscribe so that you don't miss any of our content on Twin Flames. And so let's get cracking. How can you make your twin flame finally reply a message after months of silence? So I feel like we all have a lot of insights to share. I would like to open the floor for everyone to start sharing what's the most common block that this situation might be presenting to us. And most importantly, how can we resolve it for good?
I love this topic. I'm Lisi, and I had an experience last year where I didn't even have my twin flame's phone number, and he wasn't on social media. I knew where he worked, but I wasn't about to creep on him and visit his work because we were not in contact last year. We had to do some deep inner work. And I remember when he added me as a friend on Discord and when we started texting back and forth. For me, it was all about feelings. It was all about me choosing to go to the places in my heart where I was the most hurt and feel there and not numb out through distraction or anger. That's a form of numbing out, or just not thinking about it, turning the other way, crossing my arms, that doesn't work. It didn't work. I remember for me, it was very divinely orchestrated to help me into my feelings. I was working with my ascension coach at the time through a really deep block about I can't even remember exactly the theme, but I know it had to do with like a feeling that got conjured up through playing video games, which by the way, that's an ascension path, video games. Anyway, I had this experience in a video game. I lost one of my video game pets and it devastated me. I don't know why. It just really triggered me. And I remember just crying these big, marble-sized tears. Like, I can't believe I lost my pet bird in the game. It was like a Minecraft game, and it invoked a feeling that had been there the whole time of loss. And I was actually really upset about what happened between me and Josh the spring before. And I hadn't actually visited that place in my consciousness, in my heart, until this moment and this other thing triggered me. And I felt that feeling of like, perceived loss. And so I had to really choose to be present with my feelings and be with myself there and choose to love myself there. I was working with my coach through the mirror exercise, and I moved through the feeling, and I decided not to abandon myself there. And then that night, I looked at my phone and I had a notification that Josh has added me as a friend on Discord. And I was like, oh my gosh, the feelings, it connected. Um, Feeling your feelings is challenging in our world where we're taught in so many ways not to feel, not go there, to numb or distract or look away from or try to fix feelings. And the feelings are actually what are vital to your progress on the twin flame journey. It's how you notice that you're upset. You can't notice that you have an upset if you're not feeling your feelings. And it's noticing your upsets that's like helping you to identify your upset in step 1 of the mirror exercise, and then go to 2, 3, and 4, those steps. But you got to know how you're feeling and feel your feelings to actually start the mirror exercise to begin with. So I had a lot of support. I had a coach. I watched Twin Flame Ascension School every day. For a long time, I felt like I couldn't understand why I wasn't in touch with Josh. And by the way, skipping ahead, Josh and I are now living together. We've been living together since last spring. So there was a time last year around this time I wasn't even talking to him. So you can make changes in your life and choose to commit to this work and the inner work that Jeff and Shalia teach in their school. Start to feel your feelings and claim support and like really transform where you're at now to what you desire to be, to experience. You can transform it, and you can get to a point where you can communicate with your twin flame. But that's just my story, and I'll probably share more later, but I'd love to hear what the others have to share too.
No, thank you, Lizzie. It was wonderful listening to your story and how it all unfolded by just taking the steps and doing the inner work. And I would like to invite everyone watching to leave your questions or comments below, be part of this live, so we can have a conversation all together. And yeah, Christine, take it away.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, Lacey. And I feel like starting us off with this story was very powerful because there's a very important message here. That, yeah, you can try to reach out to your twin flame, send a message, a second, 1,000 messages, and that's not necessarily going to work. That's not necessarily going to get your twin flame to contact you, because it's not about what you do on the outside and what action steps you do. It's all about the feeling, and it's all about what you do within yourself. Like as Lacey mentioned, she didn't take any steps on the outside. She didn't show up at her twin flame's workplace or anything like that. She didn't try to get him to talk to her. What she did was just feel those feelings and love herself. And that is incredibly powerful. And this is like the superpower that we all have on this journey, the power of our choice. And just being present with yourself and your feelings is so powerful. And choosing to love yourself in those spaces where you're experiencing this deep pain is even more powerful. And yeah, that's also really interesting because your twin flame was designed to be not just your ultimate lover, but also your partner in ascension. So that means that your twin flame is going to mirror a lot of things to you and to help teach you some lessons that will help you ascend and deepen your relationship with God. So, for example, if you are looking for something from your twin flame from outside of yourself, like you get this dopamine hit when you receive a message from them, then you might notice that you don't really get that because your twin flame doesn't play those games. And this is how they help you look within yourself, because that dopamine hit that you're looking for on the outside, it means that you're lacking something within yourself, and only you have the power to give this love, this attention, this whatever it is to yourself. So that's why it's so important to first go within yourself and find what it is exactly that you need and provide that to yourself. Because on your twin flame journey, the inner is what creates the outer, and it's not the other way around.
I totally agree. When you were sharing about like getting that hit, I remember at the beginning of my journey, I was very like hooked up on writing this person and then kind of like gluing myself to the phone and seeing, has he read it? Is he replying? When is he gonna reply? And I was throwing out the window like basic logic. People have a life. This can be even like, doesn't matter if you're living in the same city or not. I was sharing like a huge time zone difference at that time with this person. Or even like when we revealed each other to be twin flames, it would also happen. Like I would leave a message on during the night, my time in Argentina during the night, and I would wake up and maybe there was no message yet. And yeah, he was sleeping. Maybe he was working through something. So, but I completely relate to that experience. And of course, at the beginning of the journey, it's very easy to kind of like fall for that trap of wanting to get something from your twin flame. So
yeah, exactly. I remember that before I found.
Oh, you had it with me when we came to Union. It was like, talk to me. And I was like, leave me alone. I want to work on my upset. I don't want to talk to you right now.
No, what I meant before.
No, but it's something different.
Yeah, before I found the teachings of Union, before I found the mirror exercise, I was remembering when I was laying on the couch and writing the person, I felt this my twin flame, and how I felt when I would have known at that time it's just about my feeling, that I just connect to the feeling I'm experiencing right now. Because I was really in this waiting state. I always felt I have to wait because I'm reaching out to this person. I'm reaching out to my twin flame. I thought I'm sharing love, and nothing came back. And I waited. I waited for days. Nothing came back. And just imagine myself knowing that it's about my feeling, that there is a feeling why I did it. Not because I felt guided to share love, but there was something deeper. And I like that, like Lizzie shared and Christine, that it is about this feeling.
Yeah, I felt though, like, because that was my experience too. Like, of course, I thought that I was being like divinely guided to write to this person and send like whatever message I was sending. And apart from like putting all my life on hold for whether this person was replying or not to me, which is not really the point of the journey, like Lizzie and Christine were sharing and pointing to, it's about you connecting to your feelings, your wants, your desires, like living your life. You are still a human being. You're put on earth to kind of like go through experiences and hopefully have quite a fun ones too. But the whole process of writing this person and not receiving a reply for like months sometimes, or feeling like I have to force a conversation, like they were mentioning at the beginning too, it was like part of revealing something that was over the months and applying the teachings. Of course, one of them was the love list that is mentioned in Chef and Shelia's book. Lizzie has it on her background. We can link the, we can leave the link on the comments. Was getting clear on my core values. And until I did that and realized, oh, communication is to me like breathing. And this guy is not like really making any effort to communicate. This something here is not adding up. I was like unable to release also kind of like that pattern of holding up for like, oh, whether this person writes me or not. Because it doesn't matter if it's like a very sensitive topic, if it's an uncomfortable conversation. We all have them in every relationship, even with our twin flames. Like, if communication is important to you, your twin flame will meet you in that core value, and they will make an effort. It doesn't matter, like it's gonna be like messy, or maybe like it doesn't matter, you're gonna be scared as crap to even have the talk, but one of you or both are gonna find a way to work it out. And again, like this person not communicating with you, like Lizzie was sharing, or maybe they are pointing where you're not communicating to yourself, maybe you're not honoring a value, or maybe you're just not looking in a place that needs to be loved. And this is what the school teaches and helps us. Actually, when we apply that, we came very easily. We had always the communication was very easy with Paco. And I'm like, Lizzie, you had your blogs too, but, or maybe Dani can share her experience too. But even if you're healing, at some point that conversation becomes easy.
Yeah, you got a little bit choppy here, but yeah, exactly. Like, you know, communication with your twin flame, it's actually something that you are blocking. Like, whether, you know, believe it or not, you have the power to unlock the communication with your twin flame. And this is because when you are constantly waiting, you know, to have this communication with your twin flame, then that energy is coming from a place of fear, right? Like, it's coming from a place of lack, like as if you don't have already a communication with your twin flame. So I feel like it's really important to like get clear on that, you know, that you and your twin flame are one and you share one consciousness. And that means that you are always communicating with them in every level, in every way. So it might not be that you are necessarily talking right now, but you are communicating. And a perfect example is what Lizzie was sharing, right? Like, so how she was so dedicated to do her inner work, to heal everything that she needed to heal communication within herself. And she naturally surrendered, you know, everything with her twin flame. And then she attracted her twin flame back to her life. And so this shows that if you are on the waiting energy, you're not going to get anything from your twin flame, because your twin flame is attracted to your state of union. And when you are living in a state of union, you are going to have union, you know. And so how can you be in this state of union? Well, that's when we talk about feeling your feelings. And here is why, though. This is why we talk so much about feel your feelings, do the mirror exercise, you know. The reason behind this is that you were created in union with your twin flame, which means that your union is a very sacred and beautiful vibration. And it's created by God. And so this is something very loving and peaceful. So how can you have communication with your twin flame if you are not feeling that way? You know, if you are not experiencing that peace, you know, that connection with your twin flame. So that's something that can really help you understand a little bit more about, you know, union with your twin flame, that it is absolutely important that you let go of this waiting energy, pretty much, you know, and that you are surrendered to the truth that you already are in communication. So I would say, you know, heal the separation consciousness, meaning if you don't fully believe that you are one with your twin flame, you might have that doubt, you know, like, what do you mean? Like, you know, I'm one with my twin flame. Like, well, you know, that's how we are created. And so when you let go of those thoughts that you are already communicating, that you already are one, then you're not going to be in the waiting energy, and you're actually going to start attracting your twin flame because you know that they are with you. And you start living your life like that. And they naturally, because you are living your life as if you are in union, then your twin flame naturally comes to your life. You know, like attracts like, you know, that's as simple as that is the union with your twin flame. So feeling your feelings is going to help you kind of like clean all the dust, you know, all the things that are not aligned with this sacred union that God created you in. So you need to, you know, clean your house, clean your inner world. And when you clean that, your union is there. Like your union has always been there, you know, like it's literally within you. That's why we always say that you have all the power to be in union with your twin flame. Because when you clear these blocks by feeling your feelings, you are aligning to this union that is already within you. And this is really powerful. And by clearing this separation thought that you are not one already, then you're also kind of like getting to the core of the block with twin flame union. That's the block. That's one of the core blocks of union. You know, you don't believe that you are one. So start with healing those, you know, blocks about twin flames, and you'll see a lot of changes in your dynamic with your twin flame. And that's one thing, right? And then you need to have a very committed relationship with yourself and be there for yourself. So what does it mean to be, you know, with your feelings? So for example, let's say you just saw your twin flame. Let's say you had a date with them, but they left and now you want to talk and it's been 2 days, 3 days, and you haven't talked to them. And so you feel like, how can I keep the momentum going? How can we keep talking? Well, you have to bring yourself again back to the we already are together. When you master that feeling, that vibration, you are going to be together. So how do you feel your feelings? So let's say it's been 3 days and you feel like you miss them or you're upset that you haven't seen them. So then that's when you feel those feelings. Okay, I'm upset. I haven't seen my twin flame in 3 days now, and I'm starting to get anxious about it. Okay, well, now you can apply the mirror exercise. You know, that is the tool that you can find in the book that Lizzie shared in the comments. And you use that to purify your consciousness, to clean these blocks. So you say, oh, I'm upset because my twin flame hasn't reached out to me. Well, that will be step 1 of the mirror exercise. And then step 2 is you change the nouns and the pronouns back to yourself. So it will be, I'm upset with myself because I am not reaching out to myself. And then step 3 is, is this true? And then you can go within and be like, how am I not reaching out to myself? And then you can be like, oh, well, I'm waiting for my twin flame, I'm waiting for them. So that's how I'm not actually connecting with myself. I'm waiting to have something on the outside. And so I'm not fully having a communication within myself, with myself, and with my twin flame. So that now that you see that, you go to step 4 and you connect with this part of you who is feeling that, and you love the part of you. You ask this part of you, what do you need to feel loved? And this part of you might tell you, I just need a hug, or I need my twin flame to contact me right now. Well, you can just bring peace to this part of you. You can bring truth. Well, you already are with your twin flame. And so what about, just a lot of love? Because by doing this, that's when you are healing separation. By loving the part of you who doesn't believe that you are with your twin flame, who is missing the twin flame. Loving this part of you will do the job, literally. That's why the mirror exercise is so powerful, because when you complete it, you clean the dust, and then naturally you feel in union. And don't be surprised if after doing this, you get a message from your twin flame, something happens that clear the way for your union. So if you keep doing this and this becomes your life, you are gonna permanently clear the communication with your twin flame. That's gonna be completely there for you. But you gotta be consistent, you gotta be committed to having this spiritual journey, this spiritual healing. And most importantly, you gotta have that discipline with yourself, with your thoughts, of separation. And it's not just one day, it's every single day until you finally manifest what you already cultivated within you. So this is the process of manifesting your union. This is the process of clearing the upsets and clearing, healing communication blocks with your twin flame. You apply the tool, you surrender, which is another thing, right? Like, you have to surrender. If you don't surrender, you're going to be upset, you're going to be in trouble, you are going to be discontent. So once you tell yourself the truth that you already are with your twin flame, once you heal the block that they were presenting you, you surrender. And then you keep going. And then when it comes back, well, you love yourself again. And then you surrender. And then you keep going. Do this, and you're going to have not only union, but everything that you want, because this applies for everything. You manifest, you create your reality. So by healing the blocks, you create the reality that you want for yourself, because you are in communication with yourself. And something that is also important is that you don't judge your journey, or that you let go of expectations on your twin flame journey. You cannot be holding grudges in your twin flame journey, like, oh, they didn't talk to me, they didn't message me the last few times, so now I'm gonna wait for them. That doesn't work with twin flames. Twin flames are one. So this is not like a soulmate that like you need to kind of like negotiate the relationship. This is your mirror. So the only way you can have this permanently is by having that, permanent connection with yourself. So yeah, let go of those expectations, and just know that it's okay for you to have unconditional love for your twin flame. And, you want to hold peace for your union. You want to cultivate that peace so your union can unfold instead of holding grudges. You can just let go of that and keep having more and more peace. So that energy of peace is exactly what invites your twin flame into your life, and what keeps your twin flame in your life. So yeah, I've experienced this many times too. This is how I got into union with my twin flame. I was very devoted to the mirror exercise, to TFAS, and working with my coach and living my life, knowing that I am working for what I want, and so I'm not gonna be waiting. I'm gonna be acting, and I'm going to be healing, and I'm going to be enjoying my relationship with myself and God, and completely surrendered. And you know that you are surrendered and that you are having unconditional love with your twin flame when you feel that love, like when you actually experience that love. And so when you feel that, then that's your indicator that you are on the right path, that you are actually healing your union. So, let go of those expectations and have unconditional love for you and your twin flame. And, it's important to remember that by you healing, and you're cultivating this peace that is going to be what holds the foundation for your union. So, and again, remember that because you and your twin flame are one, then it's absolutely fine that you are doing this work, because they are doing it too with you. There is no separation. And so it's totally safe for you to have unconditional love for you and for your twin flame, because you cannot force them. You can control them. You can only love them and love yourself, and do what is best for you.
Yeah, and it's exactly like she was sharing, like Dani was sharing. Even if you come finally into union with your twin flame, this work doesn't stop. Like, it happens between us. Whenever we want to like make the other one responsible for whatever in the communication that was unclear, then we realize like, no, there's something to be addressed there. And it can be either from both of us or just one of us, and the other one is kind of like holding the space for the person with the upset to get clear. But like, yeah, I think it's important. Something that was coming up while I was listening to everyone share was getting clear on what is the intention behind putting out that message. Because if you are still, even in a very subtle way, looking to get something from it, your twin flame is not going to give it to you. They are going to always point back to you having that inner connection that Dani was mentioning. And like Lizzie was also sharing from the beginning of the live. So yeah, just make sure that you are kind of like having that conversation with yourself, and everything will shift very naturally. I love like Lizzie's example. Like a year ago, we were absolutely like not talking at all, and I just connected with my feelings. I received the support that we found here in the community through the teachings of union, and my coach was helping me, and I dissolved it. Now we are living together, and it seemed perhaps like an unsurmountable mountain. I know that I had that too. Like, oh, I'm like, this person is not communicating. It's not communicating. Like, there's no communication. And from like, yeah, it's just the work kind of compile, the inner work compile on itself. And then at some point it just shifted. And it really changed a lot from, of course, I was moving through a false twin flame experience. We have absolutely no way of knowing if everyone else is moving or not through this experience, but it's just about taking the steps and kind of moving through the process, and it will give you results. All of us have seen results. So it would be very cool at this point in the live. I would like to know if we have comments or people sharing.
No, but we have a lot of people watching, like Melanie, hello, Rosalie, Dave, Sini, Sandra, Bianca, Raquel, Daniela, Dulce, Sonia, Blanca. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I wanted to say, like, to those who are watching too, like, share in the comments, like maybe what's your experience right now, guys? Like, share with us your communication blocks. We can help you. We're here to help you. So, like, take advantage of that right now. Type those blogs, and we're gonna really give you some tips and help you transcend that.
I just want to be honest about how I actually healed the block. So I did do the mirror exercise, but Twin Flame Ascension School, like I would not have been able to have a good understanding of the dynamic that was really going on without the school. Like a huge piece, right? I think the mirror exercise is important and the school is important. the mirror exercise is what Jeff and Shalia focus on as the healing tool in the school, but there's so much more in the school besides the mirror exercise that you need to know in order to heal your union. I was watching Twin Flame Ascension School Wednesday 1 p.m. class 57 this week. I've watched all of the classes. That was a lot of work, but it wasn't work that was bad feeling. It felt good to do the work. And this class that I watched this week, I have a quote actually set aside for this, and it's going to help you to understand what the purpose of connecting with your twin flame is. So Jeff and Shalia said, it's not about the hugs and the kisses and the sex. It's not about the great conversations. It's not about the stuff you do together and the purpose you live and the life you build together. The life you build together is built upon your love. If you can't handle the love part, how are you going to build a life together? You'd be miserable. So start by loving yourself now. And the whole school centers around teaching you how to love yourself. It's more than just a concept like, oh yeah, of course I love myself. If you loved yourself in these places, both conscious and subconscious, where you're hurt, your twin flame would be there. You would be in union because you'd be in union with yourself. So there's places in your mind, in your consciousness, that you can't see from the outset, that Jeff and Shalia walk through your consciousness every class you watch and take you from separation consciousness all the way into harmonious union consciousness, and it builds upon your knowledge. So all of us here in this live have watched and are still watching Twin Flame Ascension School and really deepening on the spiritual insight and awareness in the school. Like that was foundational. When I first started, I had a lot of ghosting from my twin flame. Like I would text and nothing for like a while, and then like a text back after like a week. That felt really bad. It didn't feel divine to me. And I remember during those times when I felt like sad, unloved, like, wow, he really doesn't like me. That was her thoughts that were coming up in my head. I would just put on a Twin Flame Ascension School class and I would just listen to it, and I would feel better by the end. It was like it did the inner work for me as I was watching. Sometimes it would be like I couldn't sleep, and I would just put on my earbuds and listen in bed, and I had my little phone up and watching Jeff and Shalia, and so much joy, and all of the things I was upset about just dissolved, because they also teach you how to have a relationship not just with yourself but with your divinity, or what I call God, what you might call God. So I was having that relationship with God, and I was realizing that every time I tried to reach out to my twin flame Josh in the past, when I was looking at him as my source of love and attention, I was basing my own identity on whether or not he was paying attention to me. And that isn't in alignment with God. And so I learned how to love myself and give myself the attention with God, right? And with myself. And as I did that, watched the classes, and I also worked with my coach, that combination really healed this block for me. And it took practice. Like if you're here and you're experiencing being ghosted or blocked by your twin flame, it's a journey to take, and it involves doing spiritual work and learning, and it is work, but it's enjoyable work. It's work that makes you feel better, and it's work that really gives you those results you need, the results being love. It's not really about whether your twin texts you back or not. It's about how you're feeling. So big, huge help what Danny was talking about, surrender. Like I'd kind of like do a mirror exercise, I remember, and I'd like look and see, like, did he text me back? And nope. So you really have to let go of trying to get something, you don't try to game the mirror exercise or game the system. try to do the mirror exercise and then try to get someone to give you attention. That's not the point. So yeah, I had to
I love
surrender
that.
that.
Like, I will do a mirror exercise. Do I get my cookie now? Kind of thing. It's like, yeah, it doesn't really function. I was guilty as charged of doing that too a lot of the times. So, and even sometimes we still do it in our union. Like maybe I'm expecting something from Paco, and of course it's not gonna happen. I need to address that first, like how I feel about it inside. So we already have someone popping a question.
Yes, Joanne is asking, I would love to have a twin flame coach. How do I find a coach?
Oh, that is a very cool question. We have actually a coaching match system through Twin Flames Universe website. So if you're unclear on which coach would you like to work with, you can totally fill out the form and you will be paired with an ascension coach to support you. And you can, of course, try and see how you feel with this person. If you already know that you would like to work with any of our ascension coaches, you can just simply reach out to them and they will guide you through your next step. But claim it.
Yeah, and then I shared already the link where you can fill out the form.
Yeah, it's having, like Lizzie was sharing, the classes and the support of an ascension coach on a regular basis makes a completely total difference. Like it's not, this is not a journey to be making on your own and like, oh, okay, I'm gonna be on this island, I'm gonna do it, like I can do it on my own. There's a whole support system, like, and it makes it faster. Well, like otherwise it's like you're suffering in misery for longer than necessary. And it's okay. Feeling those feelings is, like Lizzie was sharing at the very beginning, is not always easy, but they are the key to your union. So yeah.
Yeah, like Sonia is sharing, my twin flame unblocked me. Yeah.
Cool. Congratulations.
Congratulations. That's really very cool. And she's then sharing, he's more involved, going back to work. Blessings. Have a nice day at work.
Congratulations. That's a breakthrough.
That's really
Keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how.
There are the successes that we see day in and day out in the community,
Yeah.
when people apply the teachings and actually just to do the inner work.
How we as coaches receive these blessings or these successes with our feelings, doing the mirror exercise, surrendering, because the success comes when the success comes.
Yeah.
This is when the time is right, when we are ready for communication with our twin flame.
Yeah, and we are ready to also kind of like handle having that mirror. The closer you come to your twin flame, the closer that mirror is going to be there. So like Chef Angelia said very recently, you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's also sometimes a process, especially like, I love this that Lizzie was mentioning also at the beginning of the live. A lot of the times we are taught to just push it aside. Oh, don't cry. No, just pretend like everything is fine and I don't feel like the bad feeling. And of course, that doesn't really get us anywhere. The feeling is already there. You just might as well heal through it and leverage one of your most precious assets, time. So, but it is a process, and surrendering is just cultivating that inner trust that, as Danny was saying before, as that union it's already there, then you can just relax that as you take the steps, this is gonna improve and you're gonna be in union with your twin flame. You're gonna have that breakthrough, like Sonia was sharing. You're gonna get unblocked. You're gonna start a more fluid conversation. That was my experience, and pretty much everyone I've known in the community who has success with their twin flame or are in union or harmonious union or married or engaged to their twin flame, that's how they did it.
Yeah, I want to talk about that process. Some of you who are watching might be like, oh gosh, that's so lucky of them. Like, oh, they're so lucky they're married, or she's lucky she got unblocked, or things like that. It's not luck. It's the work that you do, the inner work that you do, choosing to surrender to support, like realizing I'm not going to get there on my own. I was a very much like go-getter, like I'm going to do this on my own kind of person. I felt like I had to prove something to myself that I could do it. You know, I'm a big girl and I can love myself. I know how, but on this journey, it's a very humbling journey because I realized no, I could not. And the proof was in the pudding. My twin flame wasn't around, didn't want to have anything to do with me because I was trying to do it by myself. And I got to the point of feeling so bad, like on my knees bad, where before I was like, all right, I'm going to start looking for support. And then I looked on YouTube. Then I found Jeff and Shalia, and I was ready to join their school like that because I was done feeling bad. You don't have to feel bad as you heal. You don't have to leave yourself in the dark or, you know, sit outside the steps of the building. Come on in and let yourself be supported and feel that you have that security and that confidence on your journey again. That's what the school did for me and everybody here, I'm assuming, and coaching as well. It's part of the school.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if we have any more questions or comments.
Joanne is writing, my twin flame seems to hate me while I'm always thinking about her and trying to reach out to her. Today she told me she's tired of me. I think she means she's tired of me messaging her.
Mhm. Well, this is a great opportunity to take all these little pieces to the mirror exercise. And that's okay. Sometimes a block will have many layers. We always, like, we are taught that we heal like as peeling layers of an onion. So just, and journaling. Oh, journaling is a lifesaver. Doing the mirror exercise, writing, like Danny was saying, step one. And break it down, make it easy on yourself. Sometimes we make this easy mistake of writing like 2 full pages, back and like front and back, and it doesn't really help us. It's very, very helpful. Just break it down. Everything that you just share with us in the comment, you can take it to each step of the mirror exercise, each little sentence. And if you need help and you are still not working with an ascension coach, reach out to any one of us. We would be more than happy to help you dissolve these blocks, and we know that we can do this.
Yeah, even it's the feeling of hate. And this is one of these uncomfortable feelings we were speaking about. I had the two and still have to feel through hate, but I know at the end it's always more love. So it's safe to feel also through hate.
Yeah, exactly. So, and the whole process is always very safe. We are never harmed in just going into these places and shining a little light and finding what the truth is. So, yeah, not everything is what it looks like on this journey. And it's a very good opportunity to train that intuitive eye, that third eye that sometimes we get mentioned. So, and yeah.
Yeah, and Joanne, I just wanted to share that the things that you're sharing about your twin flame kind of pushing away your love, like pushing away when you're messaging her, she's your mirror. And so she's reflecting back what you're doing to yourself with it. And that's how the mirror works. That's twin flame mirroring. So if you see a part of you that, if you do the mirror exercise, step one, I'm upset because my twin flame is pushing me away, told me she's tired of me, and you think it's tired of you messaging her. Step two, I'm upset because I'm pushing myself away and I'm tired of myself. And step three, you want to ask, like, is this true on any level? And the answer is always yes. And so you want to really go to that part in step four and ask yourself, what do you need here to feel loved? Maybe you need to know that you're precious and you're lovable and you deserve love and that you're a divine being and you deserve to be cherished, and give that to yourself. Like imagine a mother father figure, even your twin flame, like cherishing you, or even you cherishing your inner child. Just give that to yourself and remember that, like what Deb was saying, your twin flame it's not on the outside what reality is. It's mirroring to you something so you can heal it. When you heal it, you feel better, and that magnetizes your twin flame.
Yeah, and like your twin flame is not you know, is actually showing you that as the one consciousness that you share, you know, they are tired of the like experiencing the same block, you know, and so that like what they are actually telling you is something needs to change, you know, something needs to change here so we can keep going deeper. So yeah, definitely work with a coach to help you, you know, change that so you can have the relationship you want.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm starting to feel like we've covered like a lot of terrain. I'm rather complete. I don't know, you guys, how you feel about the topic.
I wanted to share a few things too. Like, first of all, about the last question we received, it's very important not to take what your twin flame says at face value and like very personally, because as Lizzie said, it's a mirror. So the way you feel about yourself, they are going to reflect that and say things based on that. And the purpose of that is to help you to heal those things and to, you know, help you to see yourself as a divine being. And, you know, in truth, your twin flame loves you and they see you as perfect. So when you're not seeing yourself as perfect, they're helping you to essentially see yourself through their eyes, how much they love you by mirroring all those things to you. And when you heal in those places, then you're going to start to see yourself as lovable. And that's a beautiful gift that they're giving you through this upset. Even though it might not feel like a gift right now, but as soon as you heal in that space and you fully love yourself, it's going to be very obvious that it was a gift all along. And the other thing I wanted to share was like not to treat your twin flame connection like a soulmate relationship, because I've noticed another trend in consciousness where it's like, oh, you should like maybe not text your twin flame for 10 days, make them jealous or all those things. And yeah, that's really not going to work. And you might have noticed that throughout this live, all of us, and I believe we're all in union here, we shared about this being an inner process. We never mentioned playing any games, trying to make our twin flame jealous. And there's a very good reason for that, because it's not working. It's perpetuating separation because it's viewing your twin flame as someone outside of you that you can get something from, a certain reaction. So yeah, the best and most effective way to open up communication is to open up communication with yourself and connect with yourself. And then connection with your twin flame is going to come so easily and so naturally. It's going to flow very easily. So yeah, like all you ever need to do is focus on you.
Perfectly said. So thank you everyone for joining us in today's live. We've shared a lot of juicy little nuggets of how you can transcend this situation of having your twin flame not responding to any messages or even plainly blocking you. And with this, yeah, I think you know how to lead us
Yes.
there.
Yes, all the other questions you can still pop in the comments. We will answer them also after the live. And so I say thank you for watching. Thank you all for sharing all your insights and your wisdom. And we will see you also on YouTube. Like we said at the beginning, don't forget to like and subscribe in our next live. Bye. Bye. Recording.